What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? I am back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we're gonna take a look at Syndrion. The game has been out for quite some time now, and I think it is time for me to update the guide for Syndrion on my channel. 2 new archers have been added in the game for the Generation 3, and a lot of people are still wondering if Syndrion is still viable in the game. We're gonna check out some talent trees, Warpets, and pretty much everything that you need to know about Syndrion currently. Now make sure you subscribe for more content, turn on that bell notification and never miss out. Like the video, share it with your friends, leave some comments down below. Let's get into it. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, this is season B2. Game developers have introduced 2 brand new archers in Call of Dragons. Many people are wondering right now, what is there for Syndrion in the Call of Dragons? Now this is gonna be the updated guide for this awesome hero that we have in the game. I personally still think he is one of the best heroes in Call of Dragons. I would recommend you get this hero and you max him out. A minimal investment of 5,111 is still good enough for a free to play. However, if you can get him to 5,115, that is going to be awesome. We're going to take a look at the skills and see how Syndrion compares to the 2 new heroes that have been added in the game. We're going to begin the video by starting off with the rage skill for Syndrion, known as the Green Feather. It has a rage cost of 1000. It says Syndrion's Legion gains keen and rapid fire, increasing their attack by 20% and launching an additional normal attack every second for 7 seconds. Now there is something unique about this rage skill for Syndrion. It does not have a fixed value, which is super awesome. It simply means Syndrion is going to be very useful for a very long time. All you need to do is give him a good booster as a deputy and you are good to go. Now the first booster we have in the game is Freyga. Freyga has like 60% normal attack crit rate. It's gonna boost the 2 normal attack for Syndrion. The values are not fixed. They will depend on the deputy. That is the key. And now for this Generation 3, game developers have added Zeta in the game. Zeta is gonna boost normal attack by 80%. And then she's gonna give the normal attack another 25% chance to be critical. You guys can see. So I'm gonna ask you this one question. What came into your mind when you first saw the skills for Zeta? Now you were thinking, okay, we're gonna see how she works with Syndrion. Therefore, Syndrion is going to be useful for a long time. Rage skill, not a fixed value. When we take a look at Kinara, she has a rage skill of 1400 damage factor. This one cannot be increased anymore. So at some point in the future, Kinara is gonna fall off. She has like some good debuffs. However, her damage output might not be good enough to let you keep her in your lineup. Now that is going to be a topic for another day. I am not saying she is bad. I am just saying at some point she's gonna fall off because of her small damage factor. On the contrary, Syndrion, rapid fire, awesome. Moving on to the next skill. When besieging a city or a stronghold, Syndrion's Legion gains 10% attack and ignores 5% of enemy's defense. If you want to rally someone, this is good to go. Skill number 3. All marksman units in Syndrion's Legion gains 10% normal attack crit rate and 15% HP. Just some good stuff. The crit rate is going to boost your double normal attack from here, which is just awesome. And skill number 4. When battle begins, Syndrion's Legion gains rapid fire for 3 seconds. So 3 seconds into the march, you're going to hit somebody with 2 normal attacks. For 3 seconds, it is just awesome, excellent for quick fighting in PvP. Now Syndrion also gains 20% attack, which is just great. You get 20% attack from here and another 20% attack from here, which is 40% attack boost. The highest attack boost for any archer hero in the game right now. I think none of these archer heroes give you 40% attack boost like Syndrion. Syndrion gives you 20 when he does a rapid fire and another 20 from here, which is just awesome. Now moving on to the awakening skill for Syndrion. Every time Syndrion's Legion lands 5 critical hits from normal attack, they deal additional damage to the target Legion. This skill works awesome with Freyga. Freyga has 60% crit rate for Syndrion. It is just beautiful. Now Zeta can also take that skill to the next level with 25% normal attack crit rate bonus. You combine that with the 10% normal attack crit rate bonus for Syndrion, making it 35. You should be able to trigger this a couple of times with both Freyga and Zeta. So this is why Syndrion is super awesome in the game. He is still excellent. He's going to be viable for a very long time. Rage skill, not a fixed value. It's going to depend on the deputy that you give him. Let's say we see a generation 5 archer hero. 50% normal attack boost, 30% normal attack crit rate, and 1700 skill damage factor. Who do you think is going to pair well with that archer hero? It's obviously going to be Syndrion. With that out of the way, let's take a look at some awesome pairings for Syndrion in Call of Dragons. Number one pairing is Freyga over here. We've used her for a very long time. We all know what these two heroes can do. Now, the second best pairing is probably going to be Zeta. Right now, we haven't maxed out Zeta yet, but we're going to find out if Zeta Deputy is better than Freyga Deputy. This is something that we have to test in the future. Now, another pairing is going to be Syndrion Kinara. It's a good one. A lot of people have tested it out. It's great. We're going to have Syndrion and Magrat. I believe it should work well. You have a Syndrion and a Husk. You can pair Syndrion with Nico. You can pair Syndrion with Goanwen to take advantage of this bleeding as well. So Syndrion just pairs up well with pretty much a lot of the heroes in the game. It is just awesome. A fantastic archer hero to have on your roster. And you should be working on him slowly. Right now we have Magrat in the game. She is going to be the best low investment archer right now. With just 5-1-1-1, you are good to go. So if you get to G3, unlock your Magrat, work on her, get her to 5-5-5-1, and then come back and max out Syndrion at some point because he is going to be very relevant for a very long time. Up next, we're going to take a look at the artifacts that you can use with Syndrion. The number one that a lot of people like to use right now for the free-to-play is going to be the Shadow Blade because it's easy to get. Now, if you're using Syndrion with Kinara, you go with the Rattle Spear. If you're using Syndrion with Zeta, you go with the Gilded Crossbow. If you're using Syndrion with Freyga, you go with the Gold Crest. Now, there are other good artifacts here like the Viola's Bow. You can try it out if you want. You have the Heart of the Kamasi. It's something you can use if you have it. What else? We have other good artifacts here that you can use, even epic ones. Just test them out and see what works best for you. However, the best one is going to depend on the deputy that you bring. Freyga, you go Gold Crest. Zeta, you go Gilded Crossbow. Kinara, you go Rattle Spear. When it comes to Warpets for Syndrion, you have a couple of options. If you are going to use Freyga as a deputy, you're obviously going to go with the Nightrock because of the crit rate from Freyga. It's going to take your Nightrock to the next level. If you're also going to use Zeta, you can also use the Nightrock. However, I feel like the game developers are going to bring a Warpet for Zeta, and you might have to use that Warpet with Zeta if you pair her with Syndrion. If you are going to use Kinara as a deputy, you're going to go with the Snow Peak Rock. Who else do we have here? If you're going to use Magrat with Syndrion, you can also consider the Sun Lizard with Chain Strike and Steadfast Chain Strike. Those are the things to keep in mind. However, the best pet for Syndrion hands down is the Nightrock. This is what you go with if you don't know what to do. Next on the list is going to be the talent tree for Syndrion. So let's go to the Roots of War Battle Sync and find out a level 60 Syndrion. So here I have built a talent tree that I like to use right now. First of all, I'm going to say this is not the best of the best talent tree. Now you should have to take a look at it and compare it with other talent trees that you have seen and see the one that you think is going to be very, very good for you. Now, I have been playing this game for quite some time, and this is how I would build my Syndrion talent tree right now. I'm going to show you guys two talent trees that I like to use with Syndrion. So this is the first one. This is what I am rocking right now on my Syndrion. So you start off with the foundational talents. You get the march speed. You come over here. You get the Art of Precision. Excellent. Now we're going to go to the left-hand side. You're going to get this 2.5% attack. You get 15% march speed. And you get some normal attack damage boost. Like I said before, Syndrion rage skill does not have a fixed value. If you can boost one normal attack, you're also going to boost the rapid fire. It's like hitting two birds with one shot. I decided not to go to this side because, you know, I built this talent tree to be efficient for both open field and fighting Behemoth. Every single point you see here is useful against Behemoth and the open field against your enemies. Now, some people go over here and then they pick this last point over here. It's going to be up to you. In my case, I stop here 5%, excellent for Syndrion Rage skill. Going on to the right hand side, we go with overall attack. You get more normal attack boost. Here you're gonna boost the regular normal attack and you're gonna boost the rapid fire normal attack. It's like hitting 2 birds with 1 shot. If you don't want this, you can go with extra march speed for the open field. Now I use the march speed synchronization with my Legion. Sometimes I remove this and go with the march speed. It's gonna be up to you. From here, we're going to get strengthened weaponry. Your Legion deals 1% less hero skill damage, but their attack is increased by 2.5%, which is super awesome for your Syndrion. If you pair with Freyga, who only has like 800 rage skill damage factor, not a big deal. Freyga and Zeta, this does not affect you whatsoever. Freyga and Magrat, this doesn't affect you whatsoever. Freyga and Husk, it doesn't affect you. So it is awesome. Now over here, we take Invincible again. You're gonna increase your normal attack damage by 8%. And guess what? Syndrion Rage skill, 2 normal attacks. It's like hitting 2 birds with 1 shot. You boost both of them. Some good stuff. Here you also boost your normal attack, which is fantastic. Moving on to this node which is known as the Intrepid. When your Legion launches a normal attack, they have a 100% chance to gain normal attack focus, increasing their normal attack crit rate by 8% for 5 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. So this is one of the most awesome skills ever because it can trigger on the first second of the fight, giving you some crit rate, helping you do lots of damage with your rapid fire. On to the next node, you have the Unstoppable. Your Legion deals 15% more normal attack crit damage. And then at the end, I decided to go with Mark of War all the way up to 3%. Excellent for open field, excellent for fighting Behemoth. Now some players like to choose this. This might be better for PvP, but when it comes to Behemoth, this is the way to go. Before we leave this talent tree, let's talk about this point over here. Freyga has a 60% normal attack crit rate. It has the potential to override this skill. However, this skill is going to be active from the first second when Freyga doesn't have a rage skill. So it's going to be very useful for quick fights, especially when you go in and out kiting enemies. This is going to be awesome. If you don't want to take this, you can go in the rage regeneration direction. You remove these 2 and then you take this and you take this. If you take this middle path, I would suggest you remove this Invincible and go with Wild Wind instead. Now we have 2 points left. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want. In my case, I would put this thing over here. Suppression. 25% chance to inflict fragility on the target Legion when casting rage skill. So this is one of the talent trees that I would use. Let's take a look at the next one. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, the second talent tree for Syndrion that I like to use looks a little something like this. This was the first talent tree for Syndrion that I started using when the game first came out. But I decided to use the first one that I just showed you. So this is the second talent tree I like to use for Syndrion. So we're gonna start off from the bottom, pick this, take this, get all of this stuff. Now the goal is to make sure we make it to Delight. What does this skill say? Increases rage accumulation speed by 15% when your Legion's unit count is over 50%. So what is the point of taking Delight? It is because you want to maintain an uptime of this rage skill. When you take the Delight, you should be able to maintain constant rapid fire throughout. Maybe you would miss out on 1 or 2 seconds, but your rapid fire is going to be constant. And something to keep in mind is that you need to refresh your troops at 50% most of the time, which is what you should be doing always because you don't want to take unnecessary counter attack from hitting a march that has full capacity. So this is what you're going to take. Over here you take the rage skill boost because you might use this talent tree with a Kinara as a deputy. You might use it with a Nico. You might use it with a Freyga. It's going to work. You don't use this talent tree with Magrat and Zeta. Nope, this is not for Magrat and Zeta. These are for heroes who have rage skill. So with Freyga, this is another good talent tree to use. On the right hand side, you pick stuff like this. You take this normal attack, or you can swap it for some speed. You get this skill. You take this Invincible, boost your double normal attack, which does not have a fixed value. And then you have Cool Under Pressure. This skill also requires you to refresh when your troops drop to below 50%. You don't want to take unnecessary counter attack, so always keep refreshing when you drop to below 50%. Once you've done all of the above, you are gonna have 2 points left. Now there are some good places you can put your 2 points. You can put them here in suppression, give you even more normal attack damage, or you can put it over here, intrepid. If you put 2 points here, you'll get 3% crit rate. Now this could help you when the fight begins to help you trigger the crit damage on the triple rapid fire for Syndrion when you first enter battle. So it's gonna be up to you. Either you can put it here or you can put it here. If you put it here, it's gonna work on Behemoth. If you put it here, it's not gonna work on Behemoth. So that is something you have to keep in mind. This is a talent tree that will maintain an uptime for Syndrion, help him keep constant rapid fire. Now you can decide to eliminate this marksman speed and go with this head held high to get more rage accumulation. And then when you come to this side, you remove adrenaline rush and you go with this march speed instead. So you could eliminate this, get this march speed, eliminate this march speed, and get this head held high rage regeneration to help you maintain an uptime on the Syndrion rage skill. So this is the guide for Syndrion. He is still going to be very relevant in Call of Dragons. That is because his rage skill does not have a fixed value. It will always be dependent on any deputy that you give him. In the future, we're gonna see super powerful archer hero with crazy normal attack boost. All of them are gonna work well with Syndrion because the rage skill is not fixed. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.